Hi YouTube, it's Marissa Maclin again, your favorite doc. So I am a chronic pain physician, anesthesia trained, and in my small business called Marissa Maclin MD PLLC, Reiki healing and coaching, I help people with transformations, anywhere from getting through a difficulty with a health scare, to losing weight and doing something like I did, which was taking my career in a different direction. So in my last video, I talked about how I got the motivation to go ahead and stop working full-time in chronic pain management and start my own business. And today I want to talk about how, now that I am in this new phase of focusing on my personal business, how I have the time to create a life of ease for myself. And I also call it the soft life. A lot of people call it that now. So I moved from my hometown of Buffalo, New York, to Louisiana, New Orleans, one of my favorite places in the world. I came here a few years ago during this time of year for Essence Festival, and I enjoyed it so much so that I decided to keep coming back, and I wanted to come back and visit the city without participating in a festival, and found that I just really loved the vibe of the city and decided to move down. Plus, the weather is certainly for me an improvement over the cold of Buffalo. However, I don't have my family down here, but I do have a quickly growing family of friends down here. So how I created this soft life. First, I want to talk about the videos that inspired me in creating this today's video. And the first one is a video by Synolve of the same name channel, and her video was how I created a soft life for me, advice for mature women over 40. And I'm not necessarily going to talk about anything specific that Synolve noted, but after I watched her video, a lot of what she said resonated with me, and a lot of what she's doing is what I'm doing as well to create this soft life that I'm creating. And so it just inspired me to think more deeply about how this life is going for me right now. The other video that I would like to comment on is by Michael Sandler, of Michael Sandler's Inspired Nation. And this was a recent video that he did called How to Allow the Universe to Give You Something Better Than You Could Imagine. So actually, because this has been in the forefront of my mind more recently, because I had a recent manifestation that I'm super proud of. I want to talk about that first. So Michael Sandler talked a lot, and actually he and his wife's situation kind of paralleled mine, but their living situation was a bit more urgent. They have a new baby girl who was just born about 7 weeks ago, I believe they said. And because they move around the country, they were in a temporary place near the hospital where their daughter was born. And the lease for that place is up. I think they had 2 weeks to move and hadn't found the right place for them. And what Michael talks a lot about is how he put into the universe that he needed an outdoor space to live in, or he needed an outdoor space to to spend time in. I believe he said that he needed water nearby as well as the woods. He talked a lot about the various different aspects that he and his wife wanted out of this place, including being close to the hospital where their daughter was born, because she was born with some complications, cardiac complications actually. And so in my situation, I'm in New Orleans in a temporary living space, which is beautiful and gorgeous. As you can see, I have this balcony, 4 beautiful windows that look out into nature. There is a pool with a water feature, which is a waterfall that I can hear day and night. It's very soothing. It's a great place to be, but it's not permanent. And I felt the need to move into the more permanent space for me as quickly as possible, because I need independence. I'm sharing the common spaces with the house owner right now, and even though it's been a lovely situation, I'm an adult woman. I like my privacy. I need my privacy for multiple reasons that I won't go into, but that was very important to me. So I put into the universe the various different aspects that I wanted out of this new apartment. And that included a front porch that I could sit on and read, sunbathe, do whatever, talk to the neighbors. I wanted a backyard for my dog, and also for me to sit and enjoy the weather. I needed 2 bedrooms at least. What else did I want? I wanted hardwood floors, I think a completely updated apartment with a brand new kitchen and bathroom, various different items. And so I just kind of put these things out into the universe and allowed the universe to work on it and bring me the right place. However, I was still set up with a realtor who sent me apartments every day, and I would look on Zillow. But I kind of knew that those platforms would probably not be the way that I found my place. I was hoping to find it through friends of friends, because that way I would hopefully know the landlord, or maybe even have more knowledge about how the landlord was. Perhaps know a bit more about how it is to actually live in this home. Needless to say, without more details, that's exactly what happened. I put this out into the universe, and I have to say I was looking to stick to all of the qualities that I needed in the place. I've told myself that I deserve everything that I want and desire. So I'm gonna hold out until I get everything that I want. And the way that Michael Sandler, the reason why his video comes into play here is that he talked about letting go of the outcome. So his situation was that he and his wife had not found a place to live that they desired and had all the qualities that they needed 2 weeks before they had to move. I'm not sure if they found somewhere yet, but he realized, because they received a sign that they were putting in too much effort in trying to manifest this perfect place. And what he realized was that he had to let go of the outcome. And the way in which I let go of the outcome, and when I first looked at this place, I thought it was great, But there were a few aspects that I almost made deal breakers. It has windows, but doesn't have quite the amount of light that I like, but it's not bad. It's not a sad place. It doesn't give me a bad feeling. I also recognized that I was comparing it to this place, and there's not a lot of, this place is very unique in terms of having so many windows in one room. So I realized that I am lucky and grateful to be where I am now. The other aspect that I noted and was a little disappointed in, however, not completely, but the kitchen and bathroom, though they are in great shape, they're not completely updated like I like. And when I thought about that, I said, you know what? This is a compromise that I'm willing to make, because I do realize I might be a little bit spoiled, especially when I compare where I used to live. And where I used to live was based on me working consistently in chronic pain management and making a lot more money compared to now, where I am working whenever I want to work in chronic pain management and starting a new business. So for me, that was fine, because I realized that this is something that I can compromise for, especially being in a place that has a little bit lower rent, that will help me to save, budget, and invest, which is important, and also put money back into my business. So then I started to realize, as I looked at this place a second time, I realized that the energy in the place is excellent. It's wonderful. I really like the neighborhood. The neighborhood was what I asked for. I asked to be close to where I am now, which I am. I'm basically in the same neighborhood, maybe 4 blocks away from where I am now. And I'm closer to where I wanted to be. But what I wasn't realizing is that I believe that I am needed in that neighborhood. I believe that my presence will lift that neighborhood even higher than what it is now. And I'm not saying that to be conceited and, to say, oh, I'm this wonderful light being and I lift everywhere that I go. I do. And that's not something I'm not bragging, but it's just a fact. When you are a light worker, your energy vibrates at a certain level where you lift the energy of a room. You lift the energy of other people that you converse with, and that's why I'm here. So that's fine. So I realized that I'm needed there. I also realized that, gosh, the person who owns the home is wonderful. He's a sweetheart. And not only me just surmising this as I just met this man, but the person who lives in the house, because I know her, she's friends of a friend, she was able to tell me this. So that's really important for me to know that the person who owns the home is going to be on top of repairs, is going to be flexible if things happen. Not that I'm taking advantage of the man, but everybody likes to interact and work with someone who is flexible, right? And there's something about that apartment, neighborhood, neighbors, as well as the location in general, that makes me feel like I'm going to be opened up to so much more good than I could even imagine. So this is the aspect for me in terms of letting go of the outcome. No, I didn't get exactly every single thing that I wanted, but I think I'm getting more. Actually, I know I'm getting more. like Synolve talks about in her video that I mentioned, you have to know with your knower, she says. And that's one of my superpowers. I'm, what is the correct term? I am a clairsentient. I sense and I know, and I'm a claircognizant. So I can sense and also know that this is the right place for me. And again, I couldn't have done this on my own. I had to give my request. I had to hold the vibration of the request, and then I had to let go of the outcome so that I could get something that was even better than what I could imagine or what I could put together for myself. And it's not just for me, it's for the greater good of all. Like I was saying, I feel in some way that I'm supposed to be in this place for various different reasons. And I'm excited to see how that unfolds. So because I took a while to talk about this manifestation of this apartment and the possibilities there, I'm going to just talk really quickly about some of the other points in terms of creating this soft life. One of the things that I wanted to go into more detail about, which is super important for me, is when you have agency over your own time, you can spend your time in a manner that is most helpful to you. So am I waking up late every morning and drinking tea and watching Netflix in the bed every day? No. I have discipline. I have a day full of discipline. And it feels good to me because it's helping me to create this soft life. So I wake up early. I meditate. I had been Reikiing myself, doing myself Reiki in the morning, but I found that it was a bit of a long morning routine. So I'm switching that to nighttime. And actually, Reiki at nighttime is wonderful because it sets you into that parasympathetic mode, and that state of rest obviously go seamlessly into sleep. The problem with that is that a lot of times I fall asleep before I'm finished with the session. So that's where I started to do it more in the morning. Anyway, what else do I do in my mornings? I exercise before I start the day. And then I'm also making sure that I'm getting in my hydration. Hydration is another thing that I will eventually talk about more in detail because it's super important. And there's this fabulous book that I've been reading that has helped me improve my hydration routine. And so I'm not necessarily drinking more water, but I'm better hydrated because I'm using these tips and tricks to absorb and have better efficiency with my hydration. So what else do I do in the morning? Once I exercise, I then have my morning smoothie. I usually have a green smoothie with whatever fruit I choose to put in it. And I also put my protein powder in it. I use a vegetable-based or plant-based protein powder. And then I start my day, and I discipline my day toward the goals that I have. So what am I doing with my time? I'm reading and researching for my business and learning, just integrating information in both traditional and conventional medicine to help my patients or to help my clients, patients too. That's a big part of what I'm doing with my day now. I'm also networking with different businesses and working on upcoming collaborations and other projects that I'm working on, both business-wise and personally. And I'll get into those as we get further along in this journey. Let's see. The big deal in terms of me having my own time is that even though I am working through this day of discipline, and I'm taking breaks when I need, I stop working early enough to not burn myself out for the day. I leave wiggle room so that if somebody wants to have lunch, if a friend wants to have lunch, or if a friend needs me to do something, or if I just want to, have an evening dinner with someone, whatever. I do leave some wiggle room for social time as well, but not every single day, because I'm an introvert and I can't overextend myself in being social. So what the next point that I was getting to was having my own time for myself means that I get to have the spaciousness in order for ideas to come through. And those ideas could be for the business. Those ideas could be for creativity and the different hobbies that I'm cultivating. And I'm finding for myself that when I was not working with my creativity and nurturing it, I literally felt like I was dying inside a little bit every day because I wasn't expressing myself. That's super important, and I can get into that in another video as well. But what I wanted to also mention is that even though for a while I've been interested in investing, I'm actually doing it now. And it's not because I've pushed through a barrier of procrastination. It's just that I've had the time and the energy to do the research, figure out which companies were best for me for long-term holdings, and to actually put the money in and execute. And that's a big deal for me because it's something that I've wanted to do for a long time, but now I have the bandwidth to actually feel good about what I'm investing in. So this soft life is helping me to, one, be comfortable, not have to deal with burnout and emotional draining or drainage that occurs on a regular basis. The soft life gives me freedom and ease and that spaciousness to come up with ideas. And ideas are, if you're thinking business-wise, good ideas are what make you a lot of money. If you solve problems for people and you create value in this world, you will make money. And a soft life for me is being comfortable and having the funds that I need to not only live exactly the way that I want to live, but to travel and move about the country and the world when I want and how I want, to know that I am creating wealth for my children, my future children, and being able to, one, have the power, and two, the money to be able to help others, to help the community, to be able to have the power to change laws and to change legislation, and to actually create the action and the execution behind movements. So even though I might not be a person who protests in the street, I'm the person behind the scenes making things happen. That's the way that I want to support my community with the money that I will be making in this soft life. So anyway, that's all I'm gonna have for you guys today. Again, I love that you have listened. I so appreciate your comments and likes, and please let me know in the comment section what you want to hear from me. What do you want me to discuss? I have so much to say. Again, comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification button so that you know when I drop a new video. Oh, that's another thing. I did create a meditation video, and I created that after hearing some recent upsetting news that has occurred nationally. I don't love to mention specific issues just because I like to cultivate an environment of ease and positivity in my videos. So if you look at the date, you might know what I'm talking about. But it inspired me to create a meditation audio, and I think it's good because I listen to guided meditations all the time, and so I'm happy and excited to share that with you guys as soon as I put it to some music. So anyway, my website is marissamaclin.com. Please look in the comment section for the videos that I talked about as well as my website. Thanks.